What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling today? Let's get this conversation started. The gift and the curse. The gift and the curse. Let's get into it today. Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday, getting outside, doing what they got to do. If y'all getting outside, you probably don't even watch this. You may watch this later. Oh, also, I want to apologize. My son was on Fortnite last night when I was asleep. So I'm in the gym, and I get a call from my web guy saying, "Yo, did you mean to post this?" So I look, I'm like, "Death Run, can you beat me?" I'm like, "That's something my son posted." And he posted it on my YouTube channel instead of his YouTube channel, Crazy Kratz or whatever. He's trying to build a YouTube following for his Fortnite stuff. I'm like, you sit here watching Fortnite all the time, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't here trying to, you ain't here trying to look at how much money they're making off of Fortnite. And he literally posted, he hijacked my YouTube channel, so I apologize for that. If anybody saw that, I seen like 211 people saw that, so I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? That was him not paying attention to detail once again. You know what I'm saying? These kids, All right. So let me get started today. So I'm gonna get right into it. The gift and the curse of a spiritual awakening. Some call it a gift, and some call it a curse too. Let's get into it. So when I unlocked my spirit, my pineal gland, and had a spiritual awakening, I came to find out that there's not many people who think like me. Let me make sure I turn this up a little bit. Just like the gym. I've been outside a whole lot lately, and I'm glad it's starting to warm up a little bit. And you come to find out when you're outside, you get more strength, especially when the heat is there. You get more strength, and I hope a lot of y'all have been getting outside as the weather has been shifting to raise your vibration in these times that we're going through. Now, a lot of things seem like a curse when you start off, but it's really not a curse. It may seem like it, like situations that you may go through that you don't understand why you go through it in the beginning may seem like a curse because you are going through trials and tribulations and you're not willing to understand the process of growth and how long it takes and not worry about time because it will work out in the end. Now, oh, thanks, babe. My moringa tea. I think I'm drinking coffee. This is my moringa tea. You know what I'm saying? I got to get that. So try to get that moringa tea in, you know what I'm saying? I see that greenness. There ain't no coffee up in there. I quit coffee. All right, so you have to realize, people, that there's not many people like you. And this whole spiritual awakening thing is a very lonely road. And it can be a lonely road for a very long time for many of us. Because as we look out in the population, we see how many people are not understanding what you see so clearly in front of your face, and it's very frustrating. So I have advice to you on this particular point. Worry about who you can worry about, and whoever you can't worry about, you can't take it personal if they don't get it, if they don't understand you, if they make fun of you. You can't take it personal. Like, let me give you an example. A lot of people struggle with their parents. They have saved themselves, or they have woken up and they just want to educate the people around them. And as you see with another eye, you see the damage that's being done on your family and your friends all around you, and all you want to do is tell them so they can save themselves, because every time you see them, you're literally watching them murder themselves, even though they say they don't believe in suicide, but they're actually committing suicide by eating to die. And you try to help them and they don't seem to understand you. So I'm here to tell you that you can't take it personal, and you have to literally wipe your hands clean, let people learn when they're ready to learn. Because I know sometimes I feel like it's a curse sometimes for a little bit. I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. Like, I'm in this world and nobody really understands that I know. Nobody of my old friends, my old circle, I can't even have a real conversation with them because the things they like to talk about aren't what's really like important to me. These kind of things are really tough to deal with. And I'm here to tell you that you're not going to be around a lot of people if you're willing to go to another level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm at that point too, Nita. You know, you can't keep on explaining yourself to people, because you have to realize how much they won't get it. It's not their time to get it, and it may not be their time in this particular life. Especially people who are older, like your family, grandparents. They don't get it because they have been programmed and it's embedded into their system. And you are literally a virus coming into their system, and they're going to look at you like you're a virus. So they might treat you like you're a virus. So like when you leave church or whatever you want to call it, you know, you're going to be treated like you're an ugly duckling by a lot of your family, you know, especially in the black community. They love their God so much they forgot a part of, you know, that system is to love your friend no matter what. But it shows you how much they don't follow with their own rules that they complain to live by. When you unlock your pineal gland, you find that you have abilities now. I'm not talking about flying. I'm talking about real life ability, like you're an empath, or you can feel energy, or you leave yourself open for, you know, demonic attacks, or, you know, you have the gift of foresight, you have the gift of insight, so you can see through people's bullshit. And it will literally aggravate you sometimes to be around a bunch of people who are just literally living in a false reality. I think that it's a gift for later, but it's a curse. It feels like a curse for now, because at many times I have felt like it's a curse. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, but I would not take it back for the world, because to be sleep, yeah, ignorance is bliss. But once you are aware of what's going on, I don't think that it's bliss. Even if you try to be ignorant again, it's not bliss. It's actually more torture. So it's better that you people embrace it than to reject it. If you have the information now, you can't go back no matter how much you want. You can try to fake it. You can try to be around people who will accept you because you're like them. But at the end of the day, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and you're going to wonder, like, what am I living for here? Am I living for their, you know, for their acceptance, or am I living to actually make a change in this world? And a lot of y'all have realized that you're living for everybody else's acceptance. You know what I'm saying? So if I was you, if you're even on this channel now, you probably know a lot what you didn't know before. Even if it's about nutrition alone. I mean, I'm talking about being awoken is not just a pineal gland awakening. It's just understanding and being aware of your surroundings and what actually is going on. Like, your favorite movie star is not who he says he is, or your pastor is not who he says he is, or your parents are not who they say they are, or your friends are just following somebody else who they really didn't, they don't even know why they're following. People are just following, and you realize how many people out here are just sheep that don't even question what was presented to them as children, even when they become adults. And when you realize that you're living in that kind of world, you separate yourself from those people, and then it can be lonely, because a lot of people can go through a depression. I know I went through a depression, you know, and sometimes I go through a little sadness, and then I pull myself back out that hole, because you want to be around people, but you only want to be around those who you can build with, not those who you have meaningless conversation with and meaningless reminiscing with. Because after the reminiscing, what really is there? You know, me and my wife was talking about doing something a little while ago. We're like, you know, we got to get out, because we don't really get out much. You know, I get out in nature daily, but I'm talking about like getting out there. And it's tough to even get out there, because what's out there is not something I find entertainment now. You know, I find entertainment in actually being alone sometimes. And if it's good, if it's bad, I only find entertainment in those that I can actually have a real conversation with, that about the upliftings of thyself, the mind, and just learning from each other, and you know, bouncing ideas off each other. You know, no, I didn't get hacked. Well, I did get hacked, Zora. I got hacked by my darn son, who literally was playing, like, you know, I try to tell my kids, let's get into the kids thing, right? As if you already had kids, right? If you already had kids and you had a spiritual awakening years after you have kids, you have to now reprogram them as, and it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's been extremely tough to reprogram my kids. Now, I've been consistent, but I've been dealing with a lot of resistance lately. as they went to a new school out here, and you know the schools around a lower class area, lower poverty area, you know these kids are lost in the sauce, and it's sad to say they go to a predominantly black school, and every time they go to a predominantly black school, they always go through this nonsense, this peer pressure, kids making fun of them because they eat healthy. You know, I don't have to just fight the programming, I have to fight, you know, my kids as well, and I got to fight the school system and all that stuff. So it makes me like, damn, I don't even want to have no more kids in the system. And it's tough because you got to watch your kids. You have to make them grow up faster than they ought to grow up so they can be able to survive in this world. So I'm very, very stern on my kids, and I'm trying to prepare them for the future, because I tell my children when they're 18, yo, you out the door. So if you're not prepared, you're going to be in for a rude awakening, because I've sacrificed a lot for those boys, you know. And I've literally been the constant force in their life, all their life, even when their mother left 7 years ago. So, you know, when you have a spiritual awakening and you have children, it's very frustrating to watch your children have to fight against the system. So you have to kind of teach them how to live in it, teach them what's against them, and prepare them to literally survive in the system, because we're not supposed to be living to make money and none of this stuff. Like, I hate to live to make money, but I have to make money. We got to make money, or we shit out of luck, because money is God in the system. Let's keep it real. Money is God, and everybody's you know, working to earn. And it's like, damn, this is effed up, because I don't want to have to work for money all the time. I don't want to have to, you know, to charge you for products. I don't want to have to do all that, but that's the game we play in, you know. I just want to be out in nature, planting stuff and just living off of that. I would like to be, but you know, I would like to lead the country, and I will probably when my boys grow up, you know, and they get out the house, you know. But you know, so not to digress, my son, as far as the hack thing last night, you know, I told my son, I said, if you're going to be on YouTube at all, right, because I can't watch you every 3 seconds. I got things to do. And if you're going to be on YouTube, you know, I'm trying to be in the zone where I teach my sons how to make their own decisions and be your own man. And if you want to make this wrong decision, you want to deal with it. Like, my youngest son was sick this weekend because he ate school food again. And 2 weeks ago, my other son was sick after he ate school food. You know, and I said, listen, if you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to be on YouTube making money. So figure out what you like to do and make some money with it. So I bought him, well, he bought him, because he works for money, and he saved some money up, and he bought this piece where he could stream from YouTube off of the computer and off of the game. And I told him pay attention to detail. I didn't know he posted last night, and he posted what he was trying to make money from. So what he was posting last night was something that he was trying to earn money from. He was working, basically. He was up last night working, trying to make some money. And that's what happened. So I wasn't hacked by somebody I didn't know. I was hacked by him unintentionally, you know. And I was really pissed this morning when I learned this information. As soon as I learned it, I deleted it. But when you have children, you realize how much, especially if you have black children, you realize how much they really can't be kids. Like, if you have a kid and you've woken up, or you understand, or you're aware of the surroundings, you realize that you can't have your children be kids in this world, because they have to grow up a lot faster. Because if they're children up until 18, as soon as they go out in the world, it's going to smack them right in their mouth. And if it smacks them in their mouth, guess who they're going to become knocking back on? Either your door or the jailhouse door. Either or. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, people, sometimes it may feel like a curse, and it takes a lot of patience to get through this. You have to put the right things into your body and put the right things into your mind, and you have to meditate, and you have to get some crystals. You have to learn about crystals, because they're very balancing. You have to get your chakras in order. I'm going to do a video on chakras probably next week, and what happens when you have them in order, and what happens when you don't, and how many you actually have. You have a lot of chakras. You have more than 7, you know. And I always, like, you ever see this, I always wear crystals. You know what I'm saying? It's an orgone crystal. You know what I mean? It has all the crystals for all the chakras. It got purple, it got the royal, it got the blue, it got the green, got the yellow, got the orange, and got the red for the root chakra. You know, got to get these things in order, because if you're not in order and your mind's not right, and you're trying to get through this process without your mind being right, you're gonna have a serious problem in this area, and you're gonna feel like it's a curse at all times, because you're not gonna know how to shift and live in this environment that's so unnatural for the human being. It's not even funny, You know, you're going to be looking at computers all day, busting your ass, working for money, and forgetting about your journey in general. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to work so hard that you forget about yourself and you make them rich. That's what they want you to do at the end of the day. You know, people, you know, your friends, your family, you'll look at them different and they'll look at you different once they understand the path that you're on. And that's okay. It's okay to be alone. You know, to for a person to be comfortable being alone takes some strength, because you have to have a knowledge of yourself and what's inside of you. What's inside of you is more than what you could ever imagine, and you don't need a bunch of group of people to validate yourself. As long as you validate yourself, they'll come find you when they're ready to come find you, or when you find those people. And it's not supposed to be a big crowd of people that you may think. You know, it may be like 3 people in your life that just are a constant force that you can just build with all the time, all the time. You know, and maybe there's nobody for like 10 years, but I'm here to tell you that, you know, you'll be okay. The Most High got your back, and you supposed to have your back. You know what I mean? So I heard, I wasn't reading the comments. Somebody said, "Have I heard a life book?" The founders of it have many children. They haven't had any of them attend schools. Even homeschool is good. They get lonely, of course. My daughter's awakened for 6 months and now going through a divorce. Her husband is Catholic. Yeah, you know, the spouse thing can actually be a gift and a curse too. Because when you wake up with the spouse, when you wake up with, okay, so when you're married with somebody, right, you become conscious of what's going on around, and this person still wants to live their life and still be themselves. They have that right to be themselves, but you also have the right to love yourself in the same sense. And I'm not talking about when kids are involved. I'm talking about, like, say if kids aren't involved, right, and you wake up with a spouse that really refuses to wake up, it's not going to work. I'm here to tell you, it's not going to work if this person is not on your page and if you're not on their page. See, when you got into this relationship, you were different. You were somebody that you guys meshed, but things change, people change. So if you have changed and understand what's going on, this person is still trying to force you to do these things that you know are probably pagan, or you know that don't have no meaning, or you know that doesn't serve your higher self. You're going to have to save yourself. And it may be considered selfish, but it is what it is. You came in this world, you're going to lead this world by yourself. So, I mean, you might have to separate this person. If you're trying to change this person, you can't change nobody. They have to be ready to change at the end of the day. So, you know, I feel like it's a gift, but it can also feel like a curse. What y'all think about it? If y'all watching this video after that, I want y'all to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you feel. You know, I'll be looking at your comments. But I really want to open this conversation because a lot of people are really going through it, and nobody wants to talk about it. You know, and I realize a lot of people, it's not going to be a lot of people like the popular thing, because this particular situation is not considered popular. You know what I'm saying? It's not considered a popular thing because you realize most people are just living and just enjoying what was provided for them that we call life. But that's not life. That's not life at all. Not to me, at least. To me, it's to understand what my surroundings are. To me, it's to understand what they're putting into the air. To me, it's to understand what they're doing to the kids and the vaccines. To me, it's to understand what's going on TV and the subliminal messages they're putting on there. To me, it's to understand, you know, what they're doing in what we call, you know, the religious system. To me, it's to understand, you know, why they put fluoride in the water. To me, it's to understand, you know, that they don't want me to win, or anybody who thinks like me and looks like me and even doesn't look like me, just thinks like me. But yeah, especially the ones who look like me, because, you know, as black men, we're probably on the lowest totem pole of the totem pole of the totem pole in the world, and no matter where we go, we're not safe. So it's a very stressful life to live sometimes as a black man. I gotta speak on that, you know. So a lot of you men out there, you know, who are dealing with some issues, you know, you'll be all right. Just make sure you know, keep the right vibration around you and have good thoughts, and stop surrounding yourself with people who don't serve you. A woman who doesn't serve you, you gotta let her go. A man who doesn't serve you, you gotta let him go. You know, let them be what they gonna be and save yourself at the end of the day. And that person that's meant for you will be brought to you when you're ready to receive that person. So it may seem bad now, but it will be good later. You understand? It may seem bad now, but it will be good later. and just understand. Stop putting how much time it's going to take, and just enjoy the process of growth and what you must go through and what you must learn. People ask me all the time, Coach, when am I supposed to lose weight? When is this supposed to happen? When is that supposed to happen? I always tell them, listen, when it's meant to happen. When it's meant to happen, that's when it's supposed to happen. Not when you want it to happen, when it's meant to happen, when it's ready for it to happen, when you're ready to grow. If you don't understand that right there, you haven't got the smallest step. You know, when I was in sales, and they always tell me, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. If you're supposed to lose your job, if you're supposed to lose your spouse, if you're supposed to lose somebody in your family, if somebody's supposed to die, if you're supposed to get hurt, if you're supposed to, get something repo to get something evicted, chaos always ensues when you're on the right path, because the universe, or whatever you may call it, will find the path of least resistance so you can get to where you got to go. So if these people who are around you and don't serve you, those people might be revealed to you. If that woman is around you, she will be, and she doesn't serve you, she will be revealed to you. And maybe she might cheat on you, but she's revealed to you, so now you're smarter than you were yesterday about her. Or those friends, they may do you dirty. Now you're smarter than you were yesterday about them. And you can make a now educated decision now that those people have revealed themselves to you. But when you always ask for it, you will get the answer sooner or later. When you ask with an intention. When you ask with an intention to make yourself better, to grow, and to go on a journey, you need to realize what's going to happen after you ask. You're going to be answered. And the way you think is not the way the Most High thinks. Because if somebody had told me before I made a conscious decision to go on my journey that I would have to lose my intensity business, right, and go work at Walmart, and then go work at Amazon, and go through welfare and loss and repossessions and all these things, and losing my children after Kirby, if and their mother leaving, and all these things that I went through, I wouldn't have done it that way, because I didn't want to go through all that. But I'm happy I did, because it made me the person that I had to be in order to help people I wanted to help. You never understand the finished product until you go through the process. But if you fight and resist, the process is going to last that much longer, because you're resisting the process of your ascension. So when you go through an awakening, you're about to go through some hell. So prepare yourself, and just realize that it'll be okay. You'll be just fine, because at the end of the day, it's gold, not literally, but figuratively, gold at the end of the tunnel. Rubies, diamonds, whatever you have been waiting for, your goal, your life, your purpose at the end of the tunnel. All right? So I'm telling y'all right now, we good. Make sure y'all stay focused. I understand a lot of y'all going through it. You're doing this path alone. Being alone is okay if you're around people who don't serve you. Trust me. All right? So please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to continue to get notifications. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? I'm telling you right now. Because one day, those people who made fun of you, who teased you, who talked about you behind your back, will call you a genius. They will say, golly, she or he was right, and I treated them like shit. Wow. Because those who are considered crazy, when they realize their craziness comes to fruition, are called geniuses later on in life. Remember that, people. Remember that. People can't comprehend your thought process because it's not meant for them. It doesn't compute to them, but one day it will. And if it doesn't, you'll be fine anyway. So besides that, this is Coach Reg, aka Mr. Intensity, and my job is to invoke thought and help awaken the world's consciousness one person at a time. I know that person will be you.